4 years of high school with one of my less well-thought-out decisions, and that was to volunteer myself during an all-school assembly for a competition that I'd been told was a spelling bee. I had been told wrong. It was a dance competition. It lasted only about 2 minutes, but it was a really long 2 minutes filled with pumping bass and intimidating upperclassmen dancing and me doing a kind of statue imitation and bouncing on my knees every now and again and hoping that counted as dancing. Still, eventually it ended, and I scrambled back to my seat on the bleachers, and by the next day I'd mostly stopped blushing every time I thought of it, and conversation topics had moved to other things in the home. And I thought, okay, so this is high school. This isn't too bad. I can do this thing. And I did. I have had a really good 4 years here. I've learned so much about literature, about physics, and also about more general things, about study habits and work ethic. It's been a good 4 years. But I also could have made it more. We often hear about high school as a sort of blank page, a chance to start over, reinvent ourselves. But I came here with the label that I brought from middle school, a sort of brand name, if you will, of Emily Poole. It's a quiet brand, the kind that takes a lot of AP classes, the kind that wins spelling bees and not dance competitions. The selling point of this brand is that it's smart, although users may experience side effects such as being overly quiet, stressing over tests, and other behavior commonly classified as nerd-like. But the thing about labels is that even with those side effects, they're always there. They're secure. It's like this ready-made identity that you can step into and you don't have to think about who you're going to be. And so I held on to this label of smart girl. I didn't have it here, a little plaque of it, and I was going to wear it around my neck, but I didn't think of this nice big square hat that's going to make putting this on a little challenging, so I'll just hold it. So I clung to this label of smart girl, and I worked to fulfill it, studying extra for tests, making sure every detail of my homework was perfect, and I don't regret working so hard in school. It's given me a good work ethic, and it's gotten me places like Bates College that I could never have gotten without this hard work. But I also made school my identity. I made smart girl my identity. It took me leaving here for a semester to realize that there was another reason why I clung to this label of smart girl, and that was because I was scared of the power of labels. It terrified me how a single word could turn a girl into no more than a dog, could emasculate a guy, could reduce a person to a scrap of their ethnicity with the use of a simple racial slur. My label may not have gotten me invites to the wild parties, but it was safe, it was secure, and it was definitely a better label than girl who dances like a scarecrow, which was the label I was a little bit scared I was going to get after the dancing episode in freshman year. So I held on to this label of smart girl. But while I was away from Roaring Fork, I realized that there was another reason that I was so scared of the power of these labels, and I realized something more about myself. I realized that I am gay. And I was terrified of the stigma that that label held. And the easiest thing to do when you're scared of something is just to pretend like it's not there, to deny it, to keep acting like you did before you got scared. And so I continued to hold on to this brand of smart girl. I continued to work to fill it and make sure nothing contrary to it slipped out. But very publicly, now it's out. In fact, we can make it more official. Just a hand of the label. I'm realizing that while this label is accurate, it's also not everything. I'm not just smart. I'm not just gay. No one is. We are all more than the sum of the labels we are given and what is expected of us. From now on, we're no longer in the zoology classroom where every species has a label clearly attached. From now on, we're going to have to learn it as we go. We're going to have to make good judgments and poor ones without the help or harm of being taught them. So this is it, class of 2015. Welcome to the time without ready-made labels. Welcome to a time when you'll make poor judgments and perfect ones, and when you'll find pieces of yourself that fit with who you are and pieces that you don't want to. And of course, labels by judging who is worth your time based on class, race, gender, IQ. You can always make labels, and there will always be people who follow them. But you can also choose to judge a person purely as a human. This is our opportunity to live a life without labels. Take it.